all the time I always used to ask him a lot of questions
Good. Okay.
พี่เปิดไว้หน้ากันพี่เปิดไฟมันมืดๆเนี่ยถ่ายดวง
Morning.
จิ๊กดวง
Used. Used.
use แปลว่าใช้ไหม use
Good morning.
Okay, so on line 268, we had the new word interesting. Interesting.
กำลังสนใจ interest
I'm not sure which one of these two it is.
น่าสนใจ
Okay.
yes
So these two should be interesting. So
speak Thai น่าสนใจ
you can find somebody interesting.
Teacher.
interesting
Good.
find อะไร find intro
So you can find a person interesting. You can find a subject interesting.
interesting
You can be interested.
91ไม่หรอ
So you could be interested in something.
interesting
So you could be interested in dogs. You could be interested in
ทุก
space.
อย่างได้ทุกอย่างสนใจทุกอย่าง in something yes
Interested means wants to know more. I saw an interesting commercial.
you know
More.
you know more
To know more.
more เยอะแยะเหรอ
Okay.
ทุกอย่างรู้ได้ทุกอย่างเหรอ
Okay.
so
So
want to know more yes
want to know more. If you find the subject interesting, whether it's computers
to know
or
to know
a
more.
book or a movie,
yes
you want to know more. If you find something interesting.
people and thing ได้
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
สนใจ
The root word interesting is interest.
interest
Okay.
interest
I think I've got the right phrase here.
เกี่ยวกับกลุ่มธนาคาร
The other definition of interest
แบงก์
has to do with money.
yes money กับแบงก์
Yes, money at the bank. Okay. Like I said, I think that's the right word for financial interest. So if you borrow money, you pay interest.
แปลว่าอะไรบอลโลนะแปลว่าอะไร
If you lend money,
ยืมใช่ไหม
ยืมเหรอ
you get interest.
yes ยืมใช่ไหมถูก
มา
ต้อง
จาก
แปลคุณ borrow yes borrow นี่อะไร
So when you put money in the bank pays you interest
อ่านว่า
because you are lending them your money.
lender เหรอ
If you want to buy a motorcycle and you have to borrow, you're going to pay interest.
โปรแคริโค
borrow ยืมนะอ๋อแบงก์กู้ได้ใช่ไหมฝากได้กู้ได้
So if you put money in the stock exchange,
ได้นี่เธอborrow อยู่หน้านี่แปลว่าอะไรมาหนูอินเนี่ย
you may get interest back in the form of dividends.
สต็อกเหรอสต็อก exchange เหรอ exchange เหรอได้
Stock exchange.
stock exchange เนี่ย
Okay.
ทำไมต้องมีสต็อกอยู่หน้าแปลว่าอะไร stock exchange
So if you need to borrow 10,000 baht at 6% interest,
โลกเหรอ
you will pay back
มันต้องซื้อบาท
10,000
10,000 บาทมัน 10,000 นะ 10,000 เลยนะ
Okay.
หมื่นก็ไม่มีไง
So when you borrow money at a specific interest, you pay back more money than you borrow.
อ๋อเปอร์เซ็นต์ใช่ไหม
Interest in money. So if you go to a website
อ๋อดอกเบี้ยด้วย
and you type in
นอยู่3คนเน็ตก็มานะ
Interest calculator, you'll get either a loan calculation or a savings calculation. So when you borrow money, you pay interest. When you lend money, you get interest. The quote, neither a borrower nor lender be, comes from an English author named William Shakespeare out of his play The Merchant of Venice, which is all about the borrowing of money. Okay? Interest.
น่ะนี่คือ next 92
93.
93
Okay. So,
What?
so 93. Bill, let's talk about the things you used to do last year.
Alright, last year I said to work up early and get up at 7 o'clock.
Did you usually get up late?
no I used to get up early every morning
What time did you usually wake up?
I used to set my alarm clock for
7 a.m.
Did you usually get up early every morning?
Yes, I never used to oversleep.
What time did you usually leave for work each morning?
I always used to leave for 8:30.
Okay. So, what time does Betty set her alarm clock for?
7 o'clock.
Good. Okay. Does Harry oversleep?
7 a.m.
Early morning.
early every morning
So, the answer is no.
Never used to oversleep.
Henry never oversleeps.
Oh,
Good. Okay. So, what time does George leave for work?
but I always used to live in 8:30
Good. Okay. 6. What time did you usually start work last year?
I used to start work at 9 every day
What time did you usually go out for lunch last year?
I
I used
answered
to
to have lunch
at
at about 1 o'clock.
You used to work until 6 o'clock every day, didn't you?
Yes,
Yes,
I
I
used to work until nearly 6 o'clock every day.
What did you do after work each day?
I answered to have a dinner at 7:30 and go to the bed early.
Did you see your brother every day?
Yes, my brother and I answered to go to the lot of place together.
Okay. So, what time does Betty have lunch?
Yes, we answered to go to the cinema about once a week.
Let's try that one again. So, questions 6 through 10. What time did Betty have lunch?
What time is it? About 1 o'clock.
Good, yes. Does Bill work until 6 o'clock?
Yes.
Yes, I used to work
So 6 o'clock
until
every day.
nearly 6 o'clock every day
Does Mark see his brother?
Dinner 7:30. Go
Try.
to bed early.
Try again. Does Mark
That's not.
see his brother?
I used to go to the doctor together
Yes,
Lot of place.
yes.
Yeah.
Mark sees his brother. Okay, so 7 or 11. Helen, did you go to the cinema a lot?
Yes, we answered to go to the cinema about 1 week.
Did you know many people in London?
Yes.
She answered, I have a lot of interest
Do you speak Mark? Do you speak Mark French? Do you speak French, Mark?
Yes.
Yes,
I listen to my brother
usually speaks
French to me all the time.
Did you often see Mr. Green last year?
Yes, I always listen to Mr. Green.
Did you go to the cinema much last year?
Yes, we used to go to the cinema about once a week.
Okay. So does Mark speak French?
Once a week. Yes.
Yes, good. Okay. Does Betty go to the movies?
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Yes, good.
Does Harry know anybody in London?
Yes, he know a lot of people in London.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So, on to page 96. Morning.
96 เลย
96, yes.
96 yes. Do you get up early John หลวงพี่อ่านคนละตอนแล้ว
Okay.
teacher speak
Yes.
Do you get up
Do you get up early, John?
Yes I
Yes, I
do
do.
I wake up early every day
What about last year? Did you get up early last year too?
No I didn't I used
to get up late every morning.
You go to work at about 9 o'clock, don't you?
Yes, I left to house at 8:45.
What about last year? Did you go to work at the same time?
No, I didn't. I haven't gone to the work much later.
Did you ever oversleep?
Yes, sometimes I hasten to oversleep.
96
What time did you finish work every day?
I said I finished the work at about five.
Okay.
Past.
แปลว่าอะไร5 โมง
So what time does John leave the house today?
What?
What?
What time does John leave the house today?
ออกจากบ้านกี่โมง
About 5:30.
8:45.
5.
Yes, 8:45.
Yes เก่งๆหลวงพี่มาถึงได้
Did he leave the house at 8:45 last year?
9 o'clock.
Last year.
Last year.
He left the house.
last year แล้ว
So Bill asks, what about last year?
Get
Did you
up.
go?
get up late
Late
every
in
morning
morning.
Don't need.
I didn't I used to get up
Yes, I used to go to work much later. So, does Bill finish working every day?
Yes. What about?
I didn't I used to go to work
No.
much later
No.
Half past
ถูกไหม
5.
So, yes,
Half past 5.
good, yes. He finishes work every day. Okay, so Helen and Betty. You used to go to the cinema a lot, didn't you?
Yes, I
used to go
about
once a week.
Did you listen to the radio very much?
Yes, I used to listen to the radio every day.
Where did you work last year?
Last year I worked in London for 3 months.
Did you work in the afternoons?
No, I used to only work on Saturdays.
Okay. So, does Betty go to the movies?
Yes,
Yes.
this I used to about once a week.
Once a week.
Okay. Did Betty work in Paris last year?
Yes, I
I don't-
listen to letter to the radio every day.
No.
Listen.
Did Betty work in Paris?
last year
No.
I work in London for the
You
month
work in
Good.
London.
for 3 months
Yes, she worked in London.
Paris.
Does Betty work on Tuesdays?
again.
Does Betty work on Tuesday?
Yes, he work in only Saturday.
Okay, good, yes. So she does not work on Tuesday, she works on Saturdays. Okay. So Fred and Paul, do you get up at the same time this year as you did last year?
No, last year I get up early.
Do you have breakfast at the same time as you used to?
No, last year I used to have breakfast early.
Do you leave the house at the same time as you used to?
No, last year I used to leave the house much later.
Do you go to the cinema this year as often as you did last year?
Yes, I do. I go to the cinema about once a week.
Do you watch television as much as you used to?
No,
I don't watch television as much as I used to.
Okay. So, does Paul have a big breakfast or a small breakfast?
I don't know.
Good. You don't know. We know he has breakfast. Yes. So does Paul eat breakfast earlier or later?
Was early.
He
Good.
has breakfast early.
Very good. Does Paul go to the movies once a month?
No, he go to the cinema about once a week.
Okay, good.
Once a week.
Does Paul watch more television today?
Television
Television
No.
much as answer.
Good. No. He doesn't watch as much television as he used to. 4. George and Max. Did you get up early every morning?
Yes,
I used to wake up early
Did you ever oversleep?
No, I hardly ever listen to oversleep.
What time did you go to work each day?
I always used to leave for work at 7:30.
What time did you have lunch each day?
I used to have lunch at 9 different each day.
Different time.
You used to work until about 6 o'clock, didn't you?
Yes, I used to work until a few minutes past 6 each day.
Okay. So, does Mark oversleep?
No.
No, I
never
hardly used to
Good.
oversleep.
Does Mark leave work at 8 a.m.?
I neither
No, he leave for work at
7:30.
7:30.
Does Mark always go to lunch at 1 o'clock?
I have
Different time.
Good.
different
Different
time.
time.
Okay.
Different time.
Does Mark get off work at 5?
Work until few minutes
No,
past
he
6.
used to work until a few minutes past 6
Good.
yesterday.
Okay. Very good. We used to have a lot of interesting friends, didn't we?
Yes, we did. You
remember
remember
our
our
friend
Sullivan.
Sullivan, yes. Yes, I remember him. He used to work with us, didn't he?
That's
That was last year.
He was always late for work. Do you remember?
Yes, he used to oversleep every morning.
He hadn't got an alarm clock. He never used to wake up on time.
Sometimes he used to sleep until 10 o'clock. 10.
All of us used to have lunch together.
And we used to go to the pictures.
Where is our old friend Walter now? Do you know?
I
really don't know. He used to write
occasionally.
Occasionally, okay. So, are Mr. Green and Mr. Brown talking about old times?
Friend water. Say the bit.
Old times.
Yes, he did. You remember?
Yes.
Yes, very good. So,
กลุ่มธนาคารธนาคารอะไรเนี่ยคุณเขาไปบริหารแอป
shared experiences, old times. So, Mr. Green and Mr. Brown are talking about who? Who are Mr. Green and Mr. Brown talking about?
water slogan
Good.
ในกล้องมีหนูน้อยหัวขาว
Did the three of them go to lunch together?
no
Huh?
yes
Did the three of them go to lunch together?
Yes.
Yes.
all of us used to have lunch together
Very good. Do we know where Walter is now?
he don't know he used to rest occasionally
Very good. No, we don't know where Walter is now.
we don't know
Does Walter have an alarm clock?
alarm clock
Sometimes answer the sleep until 10 o'clock.
Yes, the answer is no. Walter does not have an alarm clock because he used to oversleep till 10 o'clock.
oversleep
Oversleep.
นอนดึก occasionally
Cáiว่าอะไรว่าสิ่งนี้คือว่าอะไรพี่
Occasionally. You understand?
รู้
Occasionally.
แปลว่าธรรมดาไง
Tăng đó.
ปกติแบบจำทาง
So
จำทาง
Teacher. Yeah, so occasionally.
occasionally.
ก็สัมทางที่ว่าเซนเซน
Okay.
ใช่ไหมแล้วโอเวอร์สลีปแปลว่าอะไร
ตื่นสาย
ตื่นสายเหรอ
Sometimes.
โอเคตื่นสาย you oversleep
ตื่นสายหรือนอนดึกจำไม่ได้เดี๋ยวถาม
อ๋อเหรอ oversleep นอนดึกเหรอแล้วหลวงพี่ตื่นสายป่ะ oversleep
ตีสี่
ไม่ oversleep แปลว่านอนดึกเหรอ
ไม่รู้
แปลว่านอนดึกแล้ว oversleep
ไม่แน่ใจ
ใช่ oversleep
โอเค
แล้วก็ wake up แล้วใช่ไหมใช่ oversleep นอนดึกแล้วใช่ถ้าถึงเรื่องตื่นสายนอนดึก oversleep early sleep oversleep early sleep นี่ไงที่เจ๊เขียน occasionally always เสมอนะ sometimes
Never.
ที่เจ๊สอน never ไม่เคย
If I never oversleep,
never but
I always get up on time.
อ๋อตอนอ่ะ
Okay.
ไม่เคยกับเสมอเหรอใช่ไหม always นี่เสมอนะ never นี่ไม่เคย no never กับ no
Okay. So, never
every day ทุกวัน
is the opposite.
never นะ opposition อ๋อตรงข้าม
Always.
always มาตรงข้ามนะทุกวันนี่ไม่ทุกวัน
Okay.
ไม่ทุกวันใช่ไม่ทุกวัน every day ทุกวัน
Okay.
one in a while
So, never would be
one อ่านว่า one
always would be 100%. So, never, 0.
ศูนย์อ๋อ zero
Never do it. Doesn't happen.
always
Always do it every time.
never
I do the same thing. So, if I always get up and go chanting at 4 every day, always. If I never eat afternoon, then I don't eat at all in the afternoon. Okay? So, if we use never to be 0 and always to be 100, once in a while,
ที่เชิญจอนสอนอะไรไงจำได้เหรอที่ทุกที่เรียนที่เชิญจอนใช่ไหม
ไม่ได้เรียน
อ๋อไม่ได้เรียนกับที่เชิญจอนเหรอที่เชิญจอนสอนไม่ต้องสอนร้อยครั้งเราไม่เคยจำสักครั้งเลยนะสอนอีก
so once in a while, maybe one time in 10. Okay? So, if I get up on time always at 7, that means every day I get up at 7. If once in a while I get up at 8, maybe once every 2 weeks. Okay? Occasionally is a little higher than that. Okay? Once in a while, once in a blue moon, very, very infrequently. Occasionally might be something like 3 in 10. So, if I occasionally eat lunch at 12, then maybe 3 days out of 10, I'm eating lunch at noon. The rest of the time, I'm probably eating lunch at 11:30. So frequently, say about 7 and 10. So frequently I eat lunch at 11 a.m. Occasionally, I will eat lunch at 12. I always get up at 7 a.m. I never am late, and once in a while, I'll take the bus. So, never is 0, always is 100%. Okay, so, if I'm supposed to get up at 7:15, and I don't get up until 9, I've overslept, or I oversleep. If I'm supposed to get up at 7:15 and I get up at 6, I got up early. Okay. So if I oversleep, I'm going to be late. Okay. So did you find occasionally in the dictionary?
Oversleep.
มันนอนดึกใช่ไหมที่เชื่อไม่ได้เรียนก่อนแล้วไงนอนดึกถ้าไม่ได้ฟังเนี่ยพูดแล้วถามเองโยมได้ถึงพี่ว่าอะไรบ้างพี่อ่ะถึงพี่ไม่ได้ฟัง everyone
จริงอ่ะ
เจอยังพี่เจอยัง
เอาแปลเลยอ่ะ
แปลว่านอนดึกใช่ป่ะ
Never, opposite, always.
never
So, like
ไม่ได้เขียนหนังสือไม่ลื่นเลยหนังสือทำงานเขียนจ้ะ
left is the opposite
Last. Open.
of right,
Outside.
and black is the opposite
มีโพสต์เลย
of white.
เออ
Okay, opposites.
ตรงข้าม
up opposite
The
down
opposite.
up
Yes, good.
up opposite down
What's the opposite of sunny?
sunny แล้วก็มืดนะมืดว่าอะไรมืด sunny เป็นสว่าง
dark นี่
Okay, dark.
อ๋อดำดำมืดใช่ไหมสว่าง sunny
So the opposite of day would be
night
night.
แล้วก็ได้ก็เวทเด็กแล้วก็แห้งได้ทีเชอร์ได้เวท
Day.
t-shirt in Thai
opposite ได้
red shirt and yellow shirt democracy
เป็นไงอ่ะ
เสื้อแดง
อ๋อตรงข้ามที่เชื่อเลย
Okay. So there's
ใช่
that.
กลางวันกลางคืนเดย์กับไนท์นะอ๋อเนี่ยว่าสลิปเนี่ยนอนดึก
So did you get the answer?
และ
You know what occasionally means.
อ๋อ yes อ่ะ next ต่อ
ไม่
night
ต้องแล้วhigh technology
90
90
ใช่ไหม
98.
98 yes my name อ่านด้วยกันนะอ่านด้วยกันอ่านพร้อมกันเลย
Okay. So
my
Jack
name
Martin.
is Jack Mariah I work to I work to an office near here
Office near here.
I work from
works
about
from
9
about
o'clock
9 o'clock
in the morning
until 6 o'clock each day.
Actually,
I only work 5 days a week. I don't go to work on Saturday or Sunday. Usually I have breakfast and dinner at home. I have lunch in a restaurant near my office. In the evening, I sometimes listen to the radio or watch television. I never go to the cinema. Occasionally I go to a party at somebody's house. Every night I go to bed early and go to sleep immediately. I usually sleep sound all night. Last year I used to get up work at 8 o'clock every day. I used to set alarm clock for 6 in the morning at 6 o'clock. I used to get up immediately and get dressed quickly. I used to have breakfast at 6:30 every morning. For breakfast, I used to have white toast and coffee. Then I used to leave the house at about 8:45. I used to get to the office at 8 o'clock and start working immediately. Every day I used to work until 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. Sometimes I didn't get home until nearly 8:30 at night. I used to have dinner quickly. There was time to listen to the radio or watch TV last year.
Okay. So, what is Jack's last name?
last name Martin
Okay.
Martin.
And where does he work?
He work
he works
near
Sunday
near here
near
office
near.
fit near here
Near here, yes.
ใกล้ๆนี่ใกล้ๆบ้านใช่ไหม
So, do we know what Jack does for a living?
Sunday.
ชื่อถามว่าอะไร
Do we know what Jack does for a living? What is his occupation?
I don't know.
Good. We don't know. Occupation.
อาชีพ
occupation อาชีพเหรอ no แล้วอาชีพเหรอ
occupation
occupation
job
job นี่อะไร
career
แคเรียนี่อะไร
So, an occupation is your job or your career. So if my occupation is engineer, okay, my job is as a consulting engineer. So, same thing. Occupation, job, career, same thing. What do you do for a living? Okay, so if somebody asks you, what is your occupation? They want to know, what do you do for a living? Which means money. What do you get paid to do? Okay? So, occupation. I am an engineer. That's what I get paid to do. Okay. Hobbies are things you like to do that you don't get paid for. So hobbies might include sports, TV, video games, volunteer. Okay. What I do for a living, my occupation, is engineer. I volunteer as a teacher. Okay? Now,
นี่งานอดิเรกนะ
you could possibly like something so much, like you may like playing video games and on the computer, that it becomes a second career.
เกม
So,
ออฟฟิศ
in the daytime, you could be an engineer, and at night, your hobby, which was video games,
วิดีโอเก
could
ม
become a second career. So, you may work as an engineer from 8 to 5, but then you may work again as a video game programmer from 6 to midnight. And you could make more money doing this than doing this. So, usually when people ask, what is your occupation? They want to know what you get paid for. My occupation is an engineer. Your occupation is probably being a monk.
อาชีพ
It could also be a student.
oh yes
You may not be necessarily getting paid for it, but it's what you do Monday through Friday.
oh shit
It's where you spend the majority of your time. Occupation. What do you do? Okay. So, what hours does Jack work each day?
ทำงานกี่ชั่วโมงหลวงพี่คิดเลยทำงานกี่ชั่วโมงเนาะ
เริ่มงาน9 โมง
6 o'clock
เลิก
Okay.
on table
นาย
9 o'clock in the
Good. So
morning
he works from
ทำงาน9 ชั่วโมง
in the morning
9 o'clock
in the morning
มาฟินิช6 o'clock
to 6 o'clock.
yeah
ก็6บวก39บอกว่านายอะไร
อยู่ที่ไหนหัวข้อล้ำ4 ชั่วโมง
Okay, so the next question.
วันแรกเขาบอก
What hours did Jack work last year? So, third paragraph. Last year I used to
what house did you just
ปีที่แล้ว
Last year?
Yes, last year.
Last year.
Last year.
Last year.
If this year he gets up at 9, last year he got up at, or he got to work at,
Sundays. Last year get up is 6.
ทำงาน
Sunday.
ถึงออฟฟิศ8 โมงรับรถใกล้ๆกัน
This year.
Sunday later.
okay, so last year,
Get to work.
what time did Jack go to work in the morning?
เก็บเวิร์ก8 โมง8 o'clock
Yes, last year I used to get to work at 8 o'clock every day. Okay, and what time did Jack come home then?
กลับถึงบ้าน